Well, it's Friday. It's Friday. It is the 28th of April, 2023. How is everybody doing? I had to look at that calendar because I am starting my day here at my office, and it had been a little bit since I had put a video out. But first and foremost, I hope that your week is well. I hope that whatever you were privileged to be shown in your life may have been a revelation that you may have had to navigate. Whatever it was that had your attention. I'm talking about the stuff that you can't brush off. I'm talking about the things that grab your senses that were shown to you today. I hope that no matter how it was displayed, it is going to be an opportunity to bring the best you, even in disappointment. So how you doing, family? This is your boy Gerald. A lot has transformed. A lot has been going on my end. So it did have a impact on me putting videos out, and I'm going to continue to do it just like I've been doing it since 2012 for the intended heart, intended mind in a town near you, city near you, state, worldwide. My hope for the intended ear, intended heart, that this is the moment that you decide to claim you. You realize how many people that still in 2023 decide to wear an emotional mask. They decide to embrace the tactic of fake it to make it. But when it comes to the person that you see in the mirror every day, the person that greets you every day, the person that has the ultimate responsibility of holding your dreams, empowering your direction, personifying the things that make you an individual and not someone lost in the crowd. That's you. There's always you, will always have a responsibility that no one can shoulder. Because yes, we have a commonality of having a vantage point of what the world shows us, but it is our responsibility how we digest it, how we process to make the conscious decision by way of really just critical thinking. And you know, that was one thing for me, because I'll be honest with you, I have always been an optimistic person. I've always been a type of person that wanted to see the best in someone. And there was a lot of times that I went against my better judgment because I allowed my emotions to cloud my judgment. Why am I saying that? Why am I saying that to you? Because I know I'm not the only one. I know that I'm not the only person that has had to make some decisions that were not popular. Some of those decisions may have caused you to go within yourself to such a level that you knew that if I make this decision right here, there's no going back. But guess what? Because of whatever that narrative was revealed to you at the divine time and moment, because let me be honest with you, family, nothing happens by chance. I used to believe that. I was like, oh, you hear the term fate. You hear people try to rationalize, oh, well, that's karma. But you never hear people say, well, action, reaction. Choice made, reaction to the choice. Why? Because that requires truth. And this is something I've always been proverbially banging the gong as long as I've been on YouTube. Why? Because you'll come to learn that some of the greatest things when it comes to your life will be defined as priceless. The air you breathe is priceless because without the air within you, you don't exist. But I can tell you, from a person that spiritually has been looking at life or proverbially looking down the hallway of society, there are still those people in 2023 that will not open their eyes to see what is right in front of you. To the point they have convinced themselves that it is hidden in plain sight. Where am I going? Albert Einstein, his definition of insanity was, and I'm going to paraphrase it, to perform a behavior expecting a different outcome is insanity. But when you peel that back, if I'm investing in something, expecting a certain outcome, and I constantly, proverbially, get the door shut in front of me, get blocked from access of something I need, you got to make a decision. Do you want to go through that same routine? No different than a proverbial hamster on a treadmill. Why are you doing this? Because the expense is your time. That is a commodity that is never respected or get its just due when it comes to mankind. There is always someone trying to use a tactic to get you to see another option, but you never see the ultimate agenda because they're the ones that put this in motion. But let me turn the steering wheel of life and let's talk about that beautiful thing called your heart. You realize you still have folks in their adulthood still carrying emotional wounds from their pre-adolescent years, their childhood, not knowing those the same instances have already occurred. Those same actions have weight, not only in their current, but possibly future decisions to be made. Who am I talking to? That's why I used to always echo the sentiments of legendary poet Angelo Maya Angelou. I'm sorry, I'm thinking Angela Winbush. Where did that come from? Love her though. But Maya Angelou, when she said, when a person shows you who they are, believe them. But somewhere in that synergy, we get lost in translation of what's being shown. We get caught up in the behavior of compromise to the point that it feels like pulling teeth. Why does your life have to feel like you got to make concessions if it comes from a pure place? Shouldn't your environment be a reflection of your mindset, your mentality? I believe it. I believe that to be true. So, as I've always echoed, if your life is filled with calamity and drama, look at the people you hang around. Look at the people you're related to. But if you look a little deeper, some may say, hey, maybe that environment is really a proverbial generational curse. And maybe you are the one in that lineage, in that connection, that are going to break them. Why am I saying this? My biggest concern is always been humanity. I've always looked at the world with the eyes of a child. Because I live, breathe compassion. I strive for understanding. And my devotion is orchestrated by every fiber of my being from the Most High. So, if you go from a doctrine standpoint, that's why every spiritual book that you may focus your development, your philosophies on, they all say the same thing. Treat others as you want them to treat you. But we can't ignore the fact of this, because we're human beings. Lean not unto your understanding, but his. Why am I saying that? I'm saying this simply because there's too many people walking on this planet distracted. There's too many people investing time in ideologies and efforts that are futile. When are you going to give yourself permission to truly know you? Who am I talking to? I don't know about y'all, family. You gotta mind a brother. I gotta shave my head because my hair grows quick. Every 2 weeks I gotta cut it. It wasn't until my late 30s, early 40s, I noticed that there was a lot of women walking around without their smile. And in turn, indirectly, I used that And I noticed I was the same way. But I knew for myself that you're looking at a man for almost 23 plus years suffered from depression. But when I look back, it was because I was trying to change something I had no control over. I was trying to seek answers by way of understanding in my environment and those who I was connected to so that I could be the best me. Why am I saying this? Because sooner or later, family, you're going to come to a point that you're going to have to give yourself permission to claim yourself. It is your life. And I've been an advocate since 2012. I guess that's why I've got almost 1,400 videos on YouTube. But you wouldn't realize that from my subscriber base. But I'm okay with that because what I put out are like spiritual breadcrumbs for the intended heart, intended mind, because we all have to embrace the journey called your life. That's why I would always say everybody has a story, but it's up to you to define how it's going to be told. Excuse me. These soup coolers are not working, and that's maybe because Gerald is drinking his coffee, trying to get his mojo. It's Friday. I'm excited. I woke up today because your boy got to stay prayed up. There's too many people on this planet walking around with help wanted signs emotionally, but all the help that they truly need is in the mirror if they're willing to invest. And now, because we are in the verge of artificial technology, everything's about the algorithm. But the one thing that the algorithm cannot defeat is the beautiful mind. And whatever is found in your mind will manifest physically and environmentally. Who am I talking to? So, question to you. Do you know what love is? Do you know what's required to truly say, I am happy? Are you able to understand the difference between a want and a need? Because if you're able to answer those questions right off the bat definitively, you are claiming your life. It is never going to be measured by what's found in your pockets. It's never going to be displayed by who you're rubbing elbows with. It's never going to be personified between what is found between your legs and under your clothes. But it will be defined by your behavior, your story, which will be your legacy after you've transcended this world. Who am I talking to? See, right now, millennial generation, they're frustrated because right now they're starting to embrace their sexual exploration. And they're going off of what they see online, measured by the environment that they live in. And they're perplexed. These people are going to be the ones that are going to define humanity in the next 50 years. So it's no surprise why, in an alarming rate, the millennial generation are being cut down in alarming rates. It's like they have